In this lesson, we'll recap the finger picking patterns that we learned in lesson 10, and we'll learn a slightly more advanced version of pattern number 3. We'll apply the new pattern to the chord progression to the song My Blue Heaven in the key of C major. Also in this lesson, we'll learn 2 new chords, D minor and A7. Let's start by reviewing the finger picking patterns and the new technique and new fingers assigned to each string. Here's pattern number 1, recap. The thumb plays string 4 and the thumb plays string 3. You're going to use your index finger for string 2 and your middle finger for string 1. Thumb, thumb, index, middle. I'm going to do thumb, thumb, middle, ring. Because of my personal limitations, you stick with index and middle. 4, 3, 2, 1. String 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and fret an F chord with your left hand. Do the same thing. Okay, stick with the F chord. Now let's review pattern number 2. Pattern number 2 was string 4 with the thumb, string 2 with the index finger, string 3 with the thumb, and string 1 with the middle. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. And I'm still on the F chord just for fun. Pattern number 2. And now let's review pattern number 3 from the previous lesson. Pattern number 3 is an 8-note pattern. We're going to play pattern 2 twice in a row, but change the last note so that we're plucking string number 2 instead of string number 1. So the pattern is 4, 2, 3, 1. That's the first half. Second half, 4, 2, 3, 2. 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 2. With the F chord. And let's learn one new pattern. Let's call this pattern 3B. It's loosely based on pattern 3. We'll start by playing string 4, and then string 2 with your index finger, then string 3 with your thumb, and string 2 with your index. So it's thumb, index, thumb, index. 4, 2, 3, 2. 4, 2, 3, 2. Back to the F chord. I like that one. Okay, now you have most of the pattern. The only thing we need to add is string 1 along with string 4. So instead of plucking string 4 alone for the first attack, you're going to play 4 and 1. So that's going to be thumb and middle. Like that. Go ahead and try that. 4 and 1 together. And I'm fretting an F chord still. Okay, let's add that to the pattern. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 2. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 2. F sus4. Back to F. sus2. And F. New finger picking pattern 3B. Before we learn the new song, My Blue Heaven, we have to look at a couple new chords, D minor and A7. The D minor has 2 fingers in common with the F chord. So go ahead and fret your F chord with your left hand. We've got the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. and our index finger on the first fret of the second string. Go ahead and strum that. Make sure it's nice and clean. If it's not, make the adjustments that we've been talking about. Press harder, curve your fingers, make sure you're not pressing on the fret. From the F, we can get to a D minor by adding our ring finger, finger number 3, to the second fret of the third string. Third finger, second fret, third string. So now we have 3 fingers on the ukulele. We've got our middle finger on the fourth string, third finger on the third string, and the first finger or index finger on the second string. Press hard, make sure your fingers are curved, make sure you're not pressing on the frets, you're in between. Let's hear a D minor. And like we always do when we're learning new chords, go ahead and play each string individually or arpeggiate the chord and make sure everything is clean. Mine sounds pretty good. How about you? All right. The next new chord that we're going to learn for the song My Blue Heaven is A7. You're going to love this one because it sounds good and it's easy. For the A7 chord, we're going to place our index finger on the first fret of the third string. And that's it. String 4 is open. Fret 1 on string 3. String 2 is open. And string 1 is open. Strum all 4 strings for a beautiful A7 chord. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can switch between the D minor and the A7 chord. I'd like you to play 4 D minors and then 4 A7s and then repeat that. 1, 2, D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switching. A7. Back to D minor. A7, and then we'll end on a D minor. I fully expect you to have to practice the D minor chord, especially since it has 3 fingers. Don't worry if it's not sounding perfect right now. Practice and enjoy the process. Also in My Blue Heaven, there's a very common maneuver which involves going from a D minor to a G7 chord. If we look at a D minor chord and we look at a G7 chord, we can observe that the index finger does not move, it is in the same place. The index finger is on the first fret of the second string for the D minor chord, and the index finger is also on the first fret of the second string for the G7 chord. So go ahead and cycle through that. D minor, G7. Do that again. D minor, G7. Now let's play 4 D minors, 4 G7s, and then we'll repeat that for 4 more D minors and 4 G7s, and then we'll wrap it up with a C chord. Here we go. 3 fingers for a D minor chord, F chord with the ring finger added. 1, 2, D minor. G7, think ahead, D minor is next. Here we go, index finger stays. Back to the G7, and we'll end on a C. 3, 4, C. Now that we have 2 new chords under our belt and an awesome new finger picking pattern under our belt, let's learn the chord progression for the song My Blue Heaven. We're going to use finger picking pattern 3B for the entire song. The first 4 measures are a C chord, so that will go like this. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when we have to play one chord for an extended period of time, it can be tricky to keep up and to follow along and to follow the counting and to know when to switch, especially if there's no melody happening like this case. So one really neat way that musicians will count measures so they don't get lost would be like this. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. That's measure 1. And then for the second measure, I'll say 2, 2, 3, 4. 3 for the third measure, 2, 3, 4, and 4 for the fourth measure. That may seem simple, but it's very helpful. Let's go ahead and do that C chord again. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. 4 measures of the C chord. Next, 1 measure of D7, 1 measure of G7, and 2 measures of C. Here we go. D7, 2 and 3 and 4 and C. Now we're going to go ahead and repeat back to the beginning and play the first 8 measures a second time. This time I won't stop. Here we go. C chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Second measure. Third measure. Fourth measure. D7. G7 and C. Moving on to the second section. The second section of this song starts with an F chord. There's 1 measure of F, 1 measure of your new A7 chord, which is easy, just 1 finger. And then 2 measures of a D minor chord. The D minor chord was an F chord with the 3rd finger added to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. F with another finger. 2 measures of D minor, 2 measures of G7, then 1 measure of C, and another measure of G7. We'll call that the B section, starting with the F chord. Pattern 3B with the right hand. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A7, D minor, another measure, G7, back to C, G7. One thing I'd like to point out, when you're switching from a D minor chord to a G7, you may have already noticed this, but I'm going to point it out anyway. Your index finger will stay right where it is. D minor, G7. Use your first finger as a pivot. Okay, and finally, the last 8 measures of the song. It's another A section. We're going to play C for 4 measures, D7 for 1 measure, G7 for 1 measure, C for 1 measure, and then end on a C. Here we go. C chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and fourth measure, 4, 2, 3, 4, D7, G7, C, and chord progression for My Blue Heaven finger picking pattern 3B. You'll definitely need to practice that one. It's not easy. So take your time, have fun, enjoy the process, and I'll see you at the next lesson.